Hi. Hello. Hi. Can you hear me? Is this loud enough? I feel like the microphone is a little further this time. How do I sound right now? Is this better? Is this better? Is this better or does this make it worse? Oh, some of my papers just flew away. I am also a little dum dum who decided that like the last minute before stream was the perfect time to try and put my camera in a different position. So if you're noticing something different, it's that I've tried and moved. Is it straight? I don't know. I'll have to like improve a bit on it, but I'm trying to put the camera in between my two monitors so that you're more so seeing my face instead of like coming down onto me. Um, just trying stuff. And if you've never been here before, you can hit the exclamation mark about explains it all what we're doing. Today we're starting month number 2 with our fancy little objectives. As you can see there, 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 up in the corner, we have something new. I found this site called referencedailysketch.net. Um, and basically, what it is it allows you to get references for sketches, and you can fill in like the type of sketches you want, the type of references, and you can even set a timer. So we're currently doing 2-minute drawings, which is perfect that I can actually put a timer on it because afterwards I cannot go back. So let's see. Um, just gonna quickly. She's sort of hanging here. You got a hand on the rope, right? Um, Slightly coming this direction, and then more downwards. I probably drew this way too low. Can I just grab? I also will have way too little space anywhere else, so let's do this. Let's just zoom in a bit. Uh, okay. So this is like the upper body. You have upper arm, lower arm into a fist, and then it's kind of like going barely a little bit of a slope. One leg starting here, coming up, and we're out of time. Damn. This is brutal. This is brutal. Okay, we have. Let's skip that one. Yes, let's not have weapons on stream. So you have a pirate, R, sitting kind of with their back towards us, having a shoulder here, the arm coming down about here, and then continuing down into a hand that sort of does this, right? And then the rest of the back sort of curves again. Those legs are in a very weird position. I can't tell if they're like sitting cross-legged from this because the pants are pretty dark. But this is sort of the front coming down. I think they are somewhat sitting cross-legged, like their leg is going like this, and then the other one is sort of doing something here. And then just like this. And here onto the shoulder. A little hand here and a face. Voila. And that is the next drawing. Okay. So we have shoulder somewhat coming this way, with this being the front of the torso. Somewhat like this. We are doing timers. But the thing is, actually, I have the timers on this website thing. So I am seeing a timer. I have about a minute and a half left on this one. So it's getting a little stressful to actually do it in person on screen. A little hint. Oh, hey, girly. Slufka just walked in. Have a little hand drawn here. The other arm is kind of like withdrawn behind the back and then coming forward and just hanging here somewhat. Hey, girl. It's a little neck going on, and then oh, that's a little thick. Yeah, that's a little better. Little hip here. Can't really tell what the legs are doing under there. So we'll just do something we want to do. Okay. I am stressing. Okay, so it's not perfect, but we have this dude here, so he has chest somewhat front facing. Then comes down into hip joints that come up to his knees that are sort of sitting here, right? And then little feetsies. Then there's a knee that comes up till here about-ish. And that actually goes back here, where it then turns into a foot here. There's one shoulder cup that sort of goes here. And you don't really see a lot of it because it disappears behind the arm and the hand here. And then the other shoulder is pretty stretched out. Yeah, it does randomized poses, but I've put 2 minutes on it because that's what the challenge is, and it's so fast. Okay, 2 minutes on the clock. Um, so I also don't know ahead of time what I'm getting. We're challenging ourselves today. This is where I want the head to be, then out from here. We kind of have an upper torso where the first part kind of does this and then it curves. And you get like a little bit of a fold here, right? And then here the arms go. We're challenging ourselves. It's a day. I didn't know it would be this fast. I was like, sure, we can do 2 minutes. That's what the challenge says for these. I also am not keeping count. 100%. I need to start hurrying up, cause okay. I again did not take into account that his legs would be this long. But that's okay. That's okay. So whew. Okay. We've done like 4 poses at this point, which is great. I need to start taking into account okay. She has shoulders somewhat like this, right? And then it turns here. And if we look at the leg, you can actually see in the cloth that the front leg kind of does this. So you get something like this. And the other leg does something behind the other. I can't tell if that's the front. It's yeah, I am somewhat like, oh shit, I have so little time. I mean, I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right just in general. Like I think I'm somewhat um rightfully portraying like the shape, but I don't know for sure. At this point, I'm just in full survival. A little heavy on the arms. We can actually give ourselves 5 minutes if we want to. All gender, clothe it, action. Okay. This is okay. So I've turned it into 5 minutes so we can just skip to the next ourselves. um so we have Something like this. Oh. Okay, this is a lot less stressful. Like, we have the timer going on, but knowing that it's not going to disappear immediately is also giving me, like, somewhat more liberty with it. Um... Right? Okay. Another pose. Let's... Actually, I can go and change the timer slightly to give me like 5 extra seconds. Right? Because now, when I do this, it gives me a little time. Okay. That's a fun one. Let's start out at the leg. So you have the leg here. Comes into the the hip joint. We're coming kind of here. The jib joint. Point. Point. Okay. Sort of. I don't know what the other one does, but it looks kind of like it reaches out in a sense. I'll check to see it. Sure. Cause yeah, if you're here and you don't follow me already, and you want to be notified, please do follow. If you want updates on whatever is going on, you can follow that link in chat and check out my social channels. Because I update people on there. Also make really funny TikToks. Right? Relatable. Um, okay, that's a pose. let's just give myself ease of having right. Somewhat here, and then from here, kind of this going, which turns into and from here we also have other leg that is pretty stretched out like this. It should be a little bit more forward. Right? Hiya. Hitter Josh. Welcome to stream. We're just hanging out, doing like practice sketches of poses. Just trying to fulfill the objectives, which are on that side of the screen, like all the way on the other side. Currently doing gesture drawings. We've done about 8 already today. Hey, Elliot. Welcome to the stream. I hope y'all are enjoying yourselves. We're just having some fun, hanging out, and completing objectives. So we're currently doing gesture drawings, which means I get 2 minutes to draw whatever pops up in that corner up there as best as I can, just trying to convey the shape of the model. So we're not going for detail. It's kind of rough and tumble. But we just want to get a vibe for 3D-dimensionality of our subjects. Right? So it's kind of like this. And then from here, I've missed you too. I'm ready for D&D on Thursday. It's going to be amazing to have the gang back together. And I honestly can't wait for it to finally start coming out, which it's not yet, and that is entirely on me, because I need to just make more time to get through it, I guess. Because if you don't know, hi, I am a nerd, and I play D&D with all sorts of lovely people. And one of those is Elliot. We are in a campaign together with a good friend of ours, Ultra Tom, which people might know, people might not know. But they're our DM, and Elliot, he's playing my sibling in this campaign. Adoptive, but still, we're siblings. Has the timer run out? Did I get distracted already? Whoopsie. Well, let's do this. Right? Okay. That's ahead. That's enough. Next layer. Okay. Timer. Hit it. And next image. Okay. Okay. So we have shoulders somewhat horizontal, slightly slanted, going towards the right side of the canvas. Chest is facing this direction. And then the hips are doing something like this. With, from here, one leg coming out and almost entirely disappearing behind the other leg. I'll need to move you up a bit to get enough space for the leg. And we're this is looking good, isn't it? The chest is probably a bit wider, but it comes back and then whoop. Voila. That was just in time. That was where I guess, yeah. Oh, let's skip this one. We've done this one. Sure, this looks fun. I guess there are somewhat of a limited amount of like poses you can get from this. But let's keep going. They're somewhat like bending over, right? And then you have one leg that sticks back and one that sort of does this. And it ends up a little beyond it. So if you do this, something like this. Something like this. Sure. And then the other leg. Sort of comes out here and then it does another curve like this and just ends up in okay, that leg became way too long. Sort of here, I think. And then this becomes a front facing arm with a hand and a sword. And this comes back here and up again and becomes a hand facing forward with here a face. I 2 minutes is short. 2 minutes is definitely a challenge. Okay. So sort of have a line here. Shoes doing kind of this. And then from here, kind of have something like this, right? Whew. These are also very dynamic poses, so you got a lot going on. Something like this. Yeah, it really does. That still works. So you have the shoulder blade, and from here it comes down into a hand. But you also have a neck with a face, right? Somewhere about here. And then a hand here. It's not perfect, but again, we're trying to quickly get through shapes. And that is okay. There's an arm here coming down to a chest that does sort of this, right? Uh, and then another shoulder that sort of does. Oh wow, this is quite It's I'm also confused, and it's the foreshortening probably. Um, First off, there's a lot of darks on darks, so you don't see like her hair disappears into the clothes, which makes it so that like where is the arm, where's the shoulder exactly, the legs overlapping is it is a struggle, but I think uh, we'll call that our loss. um okay. Just a little guy in a suit. Um, I've like taken it up several levels, right? Last month we got to have the image like right next to us at all times. This month, by using this, I have it on a completely different screen. So I have no way of like side by side comparing it. You guys have like the image pretty close. For me, it's on a completely different screen. Um, so it becomes a thing of like, am I accurately portraying the shapes that are included in this? Right? It is like something that you constantly have to think about. Um, all right. Let's be here. It becomes like one finger, two fingers, three, and then you have the face somewhat chucked in, right? Voila. Don't know how good that specifically was, but we did it. We did it. And okay. We got guild lighting on this one, which means I get to there's a general line of uh verticality with the shoulders doing something like that's fair. Yeah. This is a buddy doubling stream. It's sort of a way to hold each other accountable. Um me so I keep practicing and get back into art. And meanwhile, you can do whatever you need to do. Is it dishes, cooking? Are you working on something, trying something yourself? Um, you're the point is keeping each other somewhat accountable. Like I, with my ADHD brain, really do benefit from having people around and people to talk to while I'm practicing. Because then I also feel like, hey, it's not just me. We're all in this together. And I almost triggered myself into going all High School Musical, but okay. Uh, quickly going to finish this though. We're almost there. Like I give myself a little bit of slack because we're going for like 2-ish minutes. I think that is pretty decent. What do you guys think? Actually, timestamp it, and I'll make a clip of it because I think I can make clips so far. So if I know, okay, it's um, I'm gonna write it down on a piece of paper that like 45 minutes into the stream, I need to take a look. And if you're following me on any social platform and you don't see this by the end of this week, call me out. Hold me accountable. All right. Next pose. It's another I really like this, but it's so dark. So it becomes like pretty hard to see any consistent details. What I can say is that I see like a general line of this. So you get like the shoulder here. With probably like chest like this. And then like the hip structure, somewhat like this. Then from here you get one leg. And another leg. Right? Boop, boop, boop. The boots come out like this. I think that is pretty close. Okay, that is too dark for me to get anything. Um. Oh, I don't have an actual layer open. Fun times. So we have pretty standard upper body. Right, this is pretty head on. Um, kind of going in like this. And then also here. A shoe here. And a shoe somewhat here. Then one shoulder does something like this. Right? And then you have like the hand here, and the other arm just comes up here. Voila. And it goes off screen, but this was a lot easier of a pose in general. Like it comes a little here, with then the hand somewhat facing more this direction. And that's the timer. So I feel like we're keeping a very good pace of it's the same one. I just did her. No, that's very dark. Okay, sure. Yeah, I think we're doing great. So somewhat like this. With the shoulder back here. I feel like the hip is tilted slightly backwards, or at least like the chest is going, no, this way. Like this, and then the hips are vertical. And then afterwards, it turns back into sliding forward. Right? And then the leg here kind of dip down straight. And then is kind of parallel with the other leg back up. And then you have a foot here. This probably is coming out because that forearm looks massive compared to the rest of the body. And the hand does something like that. And you just have the face slightly tilted forwards. That's not a bad attempt. Okay. The music could be a tiny bit louder. How about this? Is this alright? Alright. I feel like we've done this pose already. Again, very dark. Feel like the music stopped. You can still hear me, right? Did you mute me? Or am I just not, like, audible? Hello? Hi. Hi. Okay, now I can hear myself if I tune in. Great. You gave me a panic for a second. Just being like, I'm. Oh no. Can you still hear me? Can you hear me? Hi, Rafa. Welcome to stream. I should be back. I should be back. I think the camera froze for some reason. Just disconnected and reconnected it, and it looks like I'm moving on my end. And I'm moving? For a second, I thought I. Okay. Is there a bit of delay, possibly? There's no drop frames, so I don't think that was it. Let's hit the timer then. If we're all good, let's get to this next little pose. So we have a hand here, right? Fingers wrapping around, coming down, a thumb, and a wrist right here, going into here. This arm is definitely too big. Voila. It's not cheating. It's just called manipulation of um of the artboard. Maybe a bit. Maybe a bit. But hey, we have one arm coming out here. And then from here, there's also one leg that goes this way. And then sort of just does this right. Into little feetsies. And this keep. Oh, I ran out of time. Been a bit since we ran out of time. That's okay. We got a next drawing. So we have sort of shoulders here. Face here somewhat. Right? And the shoulders. Like doing something like this. Going into a shoe. My dog just left the room. She's like, yeah, no, thank you. Uh, And then here you're kind of leaning on the back leg. Something like this. The delay is like 30 seconds. Okay. That's not optimal. Were you able to time that to me talking about the dog leaving the room? Ooh. Another one of those like one-handed handstands. Let me do this. Because we need somewhat that um oh, okay. Okay, so we have the shoulders doing something like this, right? And then the upper body is somewhere here-ish. You have one knee that's sort of here, with then the leg doing this, and the shoe coming like right here. Meanwhile, the other leg is going here. Right, and then... Okay, no, I'll need probably more time for this one, but it's a very dynamic pose again. Um... Here we put this one. You get like with the face, for example. Something like this. That looks alright. Another 2 minutes. We're at like 20 pulses at this point, right? And we need to do a total of 80. Hey there, Tom. Hi. Welcome to stream. Is this your first time being in stream since I started this over a month ago? Because we we have such badly aligned schedules. Also, this is hardly a pose. Like, I'm just seeing back of a person. Um, uh, that looks a bit more doable. We're just hanging out. We're doing some fun drawings, doing our practice. Oh, I think you said like one thing, just being like, just dropping by, while I'm on my break. Um, but I really do appreciate you coming out to the stream tonight and hanging with me. If you have something to do, something to finish, work on, or just want to hang out, that's the whole point of this stream. We're here to spread good vibes and get shit done. We're currently knocking out like a bunch of gesture drawings, which means I have very little time to get all of the things done to sort of convey the shape of the figure. That's understandable. I honestly, you can ask Vic as well. I've been doing like an hour and a half, 2 hour streams, and by the time I get done, I am tapped. Cause it's not to be underestimated, just talking basically without stop for over an hour. I don't understand how people who do like 5 hour streams do it. Yes, if the shit you need to get done is catching up on sleep, that is also valid. Getting some sleep, getting some rest. Okay, I think that's all right. I need to add like an actual button so we can see how many poses we've done so far. Um, Another pose. This one is a little. You're losing a lot of the depth you see in the upper body because you've basically looking at the upper body top down in a sense. Like you're seeing shoulders, right? Oh damn. Today was a productive day then. Like you went out and you got shit done. I'm proud of you. Now, I have one question and one question only. Did you get some water? Did you get some water? At this point, like I don't know what I expect. I've given up hope. Uh, yeah, honestly, like doing cleaning, groceries, and stream is not in a day's work for me. I'm no longer honestly gonna even try. Um I know you're a little gremlin who needs their sugar fix. Um they haven't gotten arms, but we're very close to actually giving them something. So, let's just get this this comes backwards, so this becomes smaller and then it blows up again. And we just end up into this. Which this could easily be like a sword. You know? I did not just fart. But also, I think it was a car passing by, possibly, because we get some really tuned up cars passing by here at some points. I feel like we've done this one. Pretty sure we've done this one. This is adorable. Uh... We're not degenerates and we don't fart on stream. Yeah, just feel free to chill, hang out, and draw with me. I'm also doing a lot of drawings. I'm also. See. Oof. I forget, like, how bonkers of hours you work. Like, your schedule is all over throughout the week, right? Like, you try to keep somewhat of the later hours. Um, but like Mackey's is rough. How has your leg actually been doing recently? I um would actually hate that cuz then I don't have like a weekend. It would just keep me perpetually tired. And the timers run out, but we're just vibing. Um That's great to hear cuz there was like a point like month and a half ago where it sounded like it got progressively worse week to week. Like you had a bit of a rough patch a bit ago, like with the toothache and the leg. It's chronic pain is no joke. It's a little dark. We can go for another handstand. Let me not zoom in. Um, so just trying to understand, we have an upper body that we're seeing like the back of, like right here. Right? And then we come into chip 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 joints, chip joints, hip joints. Hello. Welcome to the stream where I cannot articulate words. Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine that like the week off for the birthday bash slash the birthday was a good like resting period. Cause like if you're only getting a day off at a time, like never getting a lot of back to back, that absolutely sucks. A day is too little to get back up to full in my like we've been taking some days off to extend our weekends recently. And even that I don't feel like we're fully, but then again, it's also like you're an adult, you have to go do groceries. Oh, you want to do something fun? Sure, but then you spend all day outside and you're tired again. It is really about like managing your energy. We got a good sketch done. Just gonna add a little more time. It's still that cold in the UK? Like, it's still so cold that you would need the heater? That's kind of fucked. Because we've been having, like, fairly. I'm gonna reset this timer. Um. And I'm gonna add a new timer of, like, 3. 2 minutes is a bit shortish. Like, I feel like I'm still rushing. Um. So, yeah. No, but here we've been getting like 20. The night, yeah, the nights can cool down still quite heavily here as well. It's just that the days are getting up in there. Like I think we're going to 26 degrees Celsius this week. Which means I'm glad I um have an apartment that stays relatively cool. Like we get a lot of sun in the mornings and then not a lot in the afternoon during like the peak heat. Um but we'll also need to start keeping a close eye on how much we let it. That's true. They will rob us. Heating companies, energy companies. Um, I cannot tell how it looks underneath that skirt, but like given from the leg, it looks like it would be something like this. Oh, are you like north facing with your room? I know I've seen your place on Google Street View, but I didn't take into account whether it's north facing or something else. Um We're doing great. She's just chilling. Right? That looks about right. Like you need to imagine like the little fabrics going here, little flaps on the shoulders, and then the little skirt with the multiple layers. I know that sounds creepy in a sense, but also Tom and I have been friends for a while, and I've had their address for a bit because I ordered them food once, and um, that's the next image. I also bought them a gift some time ago. Um, don't remember what for anymore, but you've never asked. You've never asked. But I've shown you the pictures of the apartment before, right? Like back when we were looking for it. First food, then Amazon? I don't know when I got you the lamp. That's the issue. It's been a bit. Um, but at the same time, it's also not been that long. I need to show you some new pictures, honestly, because Fick and I have been like getting plans for the terrace and sort of building our own little garden as much as we can do in an apartment. Um, because of course there's limitations to what you can put in like pots, but we have little raspberry bushes. We have like little tomato plants in like potters. Like, um, we're trying, and I say we're trying, but in all fairness, Fick is doing a lot of the well, Fick is doing a lot of the maintenance. I'm doing the heavy lifting. I just carried the mulch upstairs. um, and sometimes water. Oh no. Wait, were you? We have little onions. Whew. All right. I need like a quick 2 minute, 3 minute break to go to the bathroom, but I'll be back in a sec. We're back. Um, how's everybody doing? What did I miss? Oh, I need to sit more here. Yeah, but we have some really cool local initiatives as well that we were looking at earlier this week. Like we um in our town there's apparently like communal gardens where it's not exactly communal gardens, but for like a relatively small yearly fee, like yearly it's like 20 euros from so far as we can see. You can um get a little plot of land on the um communal garden grounds, and you can grow your own veggies and stuff. It looks like a really nice initiative. But it takes a lot of work to do. Yeah, it's not a full communal garden in the fact that like anybody can just walk in. It's more so that it's open to anybody to go and rent like a small plot of land. Um for a fairly affordable price, and I think they're even doing like, if that is unaffordable, if you're below a certain income level, you can get it even cheaper. Um so it's really affordable, and they're prioritizing people who live in apartments or have like a very low outside ground squareage. Uh, yeah, I agree. It's honestly, it looks great. It looks like something I'd want to do with Vic, possibly. But it would take quite a bit of time because you basically would have to spend almost a full day every week tending to it because it's not a small plot of land. Um, I think it's like an average of 30 square meters, which is like what? It's da-da-da-da. Yes. Yes. I am deadly allergic to nature. Oh, it's another fun one. So you have sort of. It's been so bad. Honestly, it's been so bad this entire weekend. Like, I took almost double dose medication um for a couple days and I was still sneezing. Uh yeah, it's honestly it was crazy. And I think it's cuz we started actually having warmer days like back to back. And not like, oh, it's a day of nice weather. It'll rain tomorrow. No, it's been actively sunny like several days in a row. So the grasses are like, ah, yes, it is time to kill Xander. You know? Little hand that goes stretched out. Right? Yeah. That's what it looks like. That looks alright ish. And just in time. I need to keep to the middle of the screen though. I'm like leaning over. Um just going slowly. That is fair. I will talk to you later. Hope you have a good rest of your night. See you next time. See you on Thursday, probably, right? Like we're coming together on Thursday, so I'll see you then. This playlist is kind of like really funky. Just mm, ooh, I like the flow of this. Now I can only see. You can see my cursor right here. You can see a little toe. E. We are finally bringing the squad back together. Is Ace already gonna be there? Bye. I'll text you. I'll text you. We're sort of imagining where the leg is at this point, though. Uh, Probably like this. Then from here, we have a leg coming like this. And then from here, we have the shoulder coming somewhat out. Right, and then we go up. Her hands are like really intricate. I cannot do it justice. Did we forget the timer? Did I forget the timer? All right. I think that looks great. Not my drawing, but the pose. That is like a really fun pose. Let's go to the next. Let's do the. Sure. This one seems a lot easier to do. Uh, Someone like this. And then someone like this. Just voila. Still way too big. The knee buckles in a bit, right? Something like this. Something like that. And then doing all right. We made it in time. Everything's fine. Bum, 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 bum. We're gonna go for. We're currently sitting at like around 30-ish poses, which is great. I did want to get to 40 today. I did want to get to 40, so how are you guys feeling? Like, I feel like I still got some more in me. We're doing great. Uh, just can't really tell what their legs are doing, can you? Like, it's very much a thing of like, uh, maybe here. Let's do 5 minutes and we'll try to do as many in rapid succession. Right? Just going very low detail. Just quickly sketching them out. Voila. Next one. Coming in, and this extends somewhat, and then here you have this. Somewhat like this. And then going up. And the neck. All right, next one. We're doing like quick gun. Okay, so you have hand here, forearm connecting into here, into the shoulder joint from which it then goes down. We have like a head here, right? Just doing quick as possible, trying to convey the general shape. And then the legs go in here, and here. Voila. Just getting, yeah, we're trying to get out like a few of them as fast as possible. So here, like this. Here, and then the face. And then one final one. So you basically get one line that does this. Voila. Voila. And that was like 35 of them. So we've gotten 35 gesture drawings. The last 5 like fairly quickly. But with that, I think this is where we leave it off for tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I'll see you back on Friday for another challenging stream where we just hang out and do sketches. Talk to you then. Bye bye.